Hello friends, so we are on page 432 and we're placing multiple images. So we're going to pull up our layers panel, kind of toggle our background layer, and we're going to hide it. And we're going to open the berries and corn layer right here. So we're going to place multiple images, two different images. So we're going to go to File, Place, and we're looking at the berries PSD, and we're doing a command or a control click to also select the corn.tif. So holding down command or control, depending on what your system you're working, and berries. We're going to make sure link is not selected and show import options is not selected. I'm matching the image on page 432 and click place. So my cursor is loaded, we only see one. We see the berries, but it's 1 out of 2. So we're going to position the berries, the red guys meet there. So it has this big image over there. And it's actually still selected. We haven't clicked anything else. I'm going to go to Object, Arrange, Send to Back. Now we're going to position this loaded cursor with the corn image on the left bleed glide, right up just above the text local where the word edge appears. Right there. You can barely see it, but it's there. I'm going to place that one there. Release the mouse button. And we're going to do Object, Arrange, Send it back. And we're going to keep this corn object still selected. You can see that blue bounding box right there. We're going, with the corn image selected, we're going to shift click the word local to select both objects. So holding down shift and I'm clicking the text local. Both objects are selected. In the control panel, we're going to do the vertical align center, which is up there. And it shifts it over just a little bit. So now we're going to resize the berries image. So we're going to deselect and just select the berries image right there. And I can see that's group berries at PSD in my control panel to make sure I'm selected on the right object. So we're going to double click on the rotate tool in the tools panel. We're going to take this angle to -90. And it kind of makes it horizontal. We're going to open up the transform panel right here. We're going to do some transforming. We did this way back when. It's coming back. So we're going to make our reference point the top center right there. And mine's already set there, but you may want to make sure it's located in the top row in the center column. We're going to change the Y value down here to -0.125, and we're going to take the width to 70%. Actually, before we do that, unclick the constraint proportions, take the width to 70%, tab over, and it kind of changes things right there. And if you deselect, so it's nested right there, and it's kind of skewed a little. Next, we're with the selection tool, we're going to make sure we're still selected on the berries. We're going to go to Edit, Copy, or Command C, and Edit, Paste in Front, or Command F. Now we're going to Object, Hide, Selection. We're going to open this selection later. So it just hides one of the berry images. Next, on page 434, we're applying color edits to images. So let's say we worked on this in Photoshop and it's not working, but we can do a few adjustments here. So while we're selected on this berries image, we're going to go to Edit, Edit Colors, Edit Adjust Color Balance. And click Preview, and as you can see, you can play around with different slider scales. and it kind of changes the look of everything. So they use the following to create a red cast, which is -30 for cyan, -30 for magenta, -30 for yellow, and a 0 to kind of soften it up. Feel free to change around and add your own, but definitely play around with it. So we're going to click OK, and we're going to deselect and do a Command S to save. The next part is masking an image. So clipping paths or masks crop an image so only a portion of the image appears through the shape of a mask. So think of it as like you have a picture frame in an odd shape, but you have your photograph beneath it. So your mask is your picture frame and your photograph is your image behind it. You can move it around, but the shape that's only visible is through the frame. So it's kind of a play around with it. So with the selection tool, we're going to make sure that our berries are selected. And we're going to click the mask button in our control panel. So it masks it, and our control panel has changed. So we're going to toggle open our berries and corn sublayer. It's actually oh, it's this one, clipping. Toggle this one open. And this is our clipping mask, and this is our photo. So this is our frame, or mask, and this is our image. And I can actually see it says clipping group and clipping path, and it kind of groups them together. So we're going to edit our simple mask, or we're going to edit our frame. So with the berry image still selected, we are going to click the edit contents. So in our control panel you have edit clipping path, edit contents. So they're kind of two different things. So this is kind of the frame and this is the image in it. So we're going to go to click on edit contents. And as you can see, the blue dot indicator selects that we're only on the berries. Just so we can notice that. And so we're going to go to edit clipping path button back over, as we're editing the mask or the frame. And we're going to view outline. So we can see you have lines here and whatnot. So with the clipping path button selected, with our selection tool, we're going to take this bounding box and nest it to where it clips or to the top of local. Right there. So I'm editing the clipping path, make sure I'm on that button. You can see this line here, that's for the image underneath. We edited our frame, our clipping path, the mask up here, so we can move the image underneath. So we're going to go to View, Preview. So with the selection tool, we're going to hold down the Alt or Option key, then click and drag the middle bounding point to the left, because we're going to nest this over. Holding down Alt or Option, clicking and dragging, and it kind of moves both sides at the same time. In the control panel, let's go to Edit Contents. And be careful, but if we drag within, you notice we are just moving this image. I can't really, make sure we're moving only the image. Can't really move it left or right. I may have moved it around too much. I'm going to do a Command Z just to get back to where I started. So you can just move it up and down. play around. So in the layer subpanel, we're going to click on the triangle to kind of hide all these little options right there. We're going to deselect and do a Command S, and that'll be it for this video. So the next one we're doing more masking with objects and shapes. So I'll see you then.